this man keep himself in the air?
Hey, this is Actress James Anderson here, and I can answer a few of your questions on how these birds are surviving these colder temperatures. And before I go on, this is not a lot of fat, it's actually a lot of fluff. So during the winter season, you're probably going to see a lot of birds doing this, and you're probably saying, oh, wow, that bird is really fat. But again, a lot of that is just feathers. And birds do this kind of fluffiness. They kind of poof up those feathers because they want to actually trap warm air and keep that warm air in closer to their bodies. Also, too, birds have what's called downing feathers. And if you're not familiar, it's just basically these tiny, tiny little feathers that are really great for insulation. Obviously, some species have more downy feathers than others, and especially the ones that live in more colder climates, they definitely grow more downy feathers during the winter season, and then during the summer season, they molt those downy feathers off, so obviously they do not overheat. Another thing that birds may do, now not all bird species do this, but like here in Ohio, things like bluebirds, tree swallows, things like that, they may form in groups or little colonies. A lot of times it's of the same species, but occasionally, sometimes you may see of different species with one another, but kind of like in the human perspective, if the closer you huddle together, the more body heat you can conserve. And of course, we have a lot of birds like owls that like to hide in tree cavities, woodpeckers as well. And of course, providing things like brush piles, so basically just a bunch of sticks. Also, too, if you have any live Christmas trees, instead of throwing them out or burning them, cutting them into smaller pieces or creating these piles like you see in this picture, it just basically protects them against the elements. Now, some of you may be wondering, what about birds like waterfowl, like ducks, geese, and swans? How are they out on that frozen lake? Well, as you can see in this picture right here, this is called counter heat exchange. So as you can see around the foot region, I'll kind of move around. So if you can see around the foot region, see how it's colder temperatures, that blood flows up closer to the heart, which is a lot warmer, and that warmer blood kind of goes right down into the feet. And then within its name, it just cycles through, so it doesn't completely freeze. Now, something else too, a lot of birds do eat a lot more during the winter season. That's why it's very important if you provide bird seed, suet especially. I know suet sounds nasty. It's just basically animal fat or fat of substance dipped in seed. But these guys burn calories a lot faster than we humans do. I wish I had that ability. But those are, again, just some simple ways on how birds survive during the winter season.